The Bunker Project is brought to you by Okanagan Spring Brewmaster Black Beer.
Awesome beer. We take turns doing the ad. We just never know which turn is what.
This is podcast episode number 141.
Yay!
Are we going to have a 150 party?
Oh, yeah. Let's have a big party.
Oh, I think we should have a big party for that. I think Okanagan Springs can kick in some stash.
Some stash?
Yeah.
I think they can buy some beer.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Welcome back. And another Wednesday. Raining, so we must be in Vancouver. We're in the atrium again. Our storage room has been used for storage.
The bunker.
The bunker fishbowl.
The room we normally broadcast from is occupied by headboards and boxes and
Crap.
tables and
Well, it's a storage room, so, you
Yeah.
know, it's so rare that it's used as a storage
Pretty
room. So.
just-
Bizarre.
yeah.
Yes, you are.
Anyway, so, guys, I'd like to continue the conversation from what happened yesterday. We did a Bunker Project yesterday, special report at an event. What was the meetup? It was the
Social Media Club.
Thank you. Social Media Club. That's hashtag Social Media Club. What was their hashtag?
Hashtag SMC meetup.
meetup. SMC meetup. No,
Was
that's
it?
SMC meetup.
meetup.
All right. And the hashtag for this show is...
Bunker Project.
Hashtag
Thank you.
Bunker Project.
So, don't forget to hashtag us.
Oh, Granny's going to come and join us.
Hey, what's interesting about this is we're actually looking out on the street, the Robson Street. So there's we do the waving competition, see people waves back. It's hilarious. People, oh man, it's CBC. Awesome.
Yeah,
I know they're downsizing, but this is ridiculous.
It's the cutbacks.
Well, they're probably looking at the beer and going, oh, now I know where the budget went.
Well, at least being spent on something good.
Well, they're walking by and they're seeing this bar that they're used to having in the neighborhood, and they're like, "Wow, they've actually got a radio remote. They're going places now."
And they all look up top to see if there's some kind of a sign that says, "You're on candid camera."
It's like, no, sorry, Jesus doesn't live here.
Ashley's making some signs for us.
Yeah. So we'll be putting out those what, in a couple of weeks?
No,
So
well, if Andrew has time to actually type something up, she can email it to her. She can print it out upstairs.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, that's going to
Ooh.
happen.
That's what I said. So she's working on pen and paper in the back.
That's much better.
Would it be
It's
wrong
more-
if we took the CBC logo?
Or
Why-
all showed up in our souvenir CBC
Why would we
t-shirts.
want to be CBC?
I don't
Isn't
know.
it,
yeah.
Seriously, people, aren't we better than that?
Isn't it a federal crime to impersonate a federal broadcaster?
Yeah,
I
but
don't know, is it?
I don't know.
I don't know. I own part of
But
it.
I mean,
Okay,
CBC
paper
is
with my tax.
If we're
Taking
going to
it, so-
impersonate someone, can't we find somebody interesting?
The Knowledge Network.
The Knowledge Network? They're smart.
Think bigger,
I don't know
people.
if it's
We
interesting.
could dress as
Discovery Channel.
Vikings.
Fox
Oh,
News.
That's History Channel.
Yeah.
I want to
History
be
Channel.
the History Channel.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Ragnar.
Yeah. Ragnar. Yeah.
Okay. and who
Bunny
ha-
doesn't want to be Ragnar.
No,
Okay,
I
who-
wanna
She wants to know him, though.
Yeah, she wants to know very well.
who has Viking helmets? I mean, seriously.
The
Besides Shane
R&B.
Gibson.
Yeah, I know it. No, that's a Roman helmet. That's not a Viking helmet.
Oh,
We
figure.
should get Viking helmets.
I've been waiting for Ragnar all that time, and I didn't even know it.
So,
So could
what
we
we're
have
going to
a
be doing
Ragnar
is
event
talking
at
about.
Bunker?
We're going to be talking about.
By the way, that was a
communities.
diversion.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yes, we have a very overactive community with us today. So we're going to hand over the podcast to our commenters. We're going to start with... Who should we start with?
So we're doing the traditional round table, or are we just going to jump right
No, that's
into
what we're going to start with the round
Okay.
table. But what's the topic we're going to talk about? Let's do a shout out for community, how to make your community work for you, or what's a good tip for your community, building community, that type of stuff.
it? Sure.
That's an easy peasy one. All right? So shall we start with... Shall I call her Reynolds wrap to really piss her off?
Will you be getting it right so that wouldn't piss me off?
Oh, damn it. What did I usually say?
I'm not telling you.
Saran wrap.
Saran wrap, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Not
it doesn't.
now.
Well, I guess that's better than cling wrap.
Oh.
What have I done to you guys?
What's the inside joke?
Oh, because
Sorry.
my tagline is "Let me Reynolds wrap your risks and give you peace of mind" because my last name's Reynolds. So and he always calls me Saran
And she's
wrap.
in insurance. She sells insurance.
Yeah.
Financial
So,
products.
yeah.
She's one of those.
I'm of the good ones.
Oh, I
Anyway,
know.
so building community. Let's see. Don't do things that piss people off. And in the immortal words
But
of
that's
somebody we
fun.
know, don't be social media douche.
Oh, you took my line.
Ah.
I was first in
You
line.
can take her line about foreplay.
I was going to take her line about.
Hey, well, if you always sit in the middle, you know you're never going first.
Okay.
Randall, you got to go first this morning at breakfast.
Ah.
But I was in the middle.
Bonnie?
Bonnie Sainsbury at B Sainsbury on Twitter. Community. No spamming. No spamming. Please don't spam.
No
So what
spamming eggs,
does-
no spamming ham.
So what does that mean? That means just don't be annoying. And don't be annoying 2 or 3 times in a row.
Mm-hmm.
The same thing. Excuse me. They didn't listen the first time. Just saying it over and over again isn't going to make them listen to what you have to say.
If I didn't respond to your event once, and if you do it 4 more times and on 3 different networks, I'm still not going to respond.
That's right.
Yeah.
All I do is unfriend you and then email all your friends and say, what the hell were you doing? Don't spread that crap. Spam.
Randall?
What?
You're up.
Oh, am I? Hi, everyone.
Bit of a tirade.
Randall Orser at Number Crunchers. I think with the community thing, I think it's it all comes there. Don't be a douche. Don't spam. And you know what, on Twitter, don't post 50 times in a row. It's like, my God, it's like,
Never heard of buffer?
oh, I know, buffer.
Oh, and
scheduling them or
don't
something.
post it Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn all
Oh,
at the same time with the
yeah.
same thing.
Somebody
Yeah.
did that this morning.
That was me yesterday.
No, it wasn't you.
You bad
Yeah,
boy.
I
you
did it.
do it?
I did it, and actually, well, I'll share when it's my turn.
Sure.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, no, I think that pretty much covers it
All right.
myself.
Cool. All right. We have a new person on one of the mics. Dude, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Curtis Lockhart. I'm a contributor at the Vancouver Observer, which is a Vancouver-based. I think it's the first online newspaper in Vancouver. And so, as an aspiring journalist or as a journalist, I think I'm more focused on the content side. So I think one of the keys to building a big and strong community is having great content, obviously, but along with everything else these guys have been saying.
Oh, yeah.
So if you're-
Hey, so why don't you bring logos to your newspaper and we can impersonate it next time?
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Great idea. There we go.
Yeah, get some
VO.
free advertising.
And we are
Actually, no, they'd have to
observing
be an
after
official
all.
sponsor then.
Yeah.
Yeah, before we have a lawsuit. Yeah. Sanj Sukrikar with Genesis Designs. That's at Genesis Designs. What I was sharing earlier about me being a douchebag, I just upgraded my blog setting. The blog plugin. And when I'd installed it about a year ago, I had entered my Facebook and Twitter in there, and I disabled it, not to auto post. And then yesterday when I upgraded, it remembered. I guess it defaults to yes.
Yeah.
And then before I check, I'm like, shit. Something, you tell everybody all the time not to do it simultaneously, and here's me doing it subconsciously.
But that was accidental.
by accident.
That was yeah. We'll forgive you for that one.
Okay, thank you.
This time.
Yeah, this time, do it again, we'll kill you.
All right.
Publicly.
Round, somebody has been here for a long time. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Good to be here. Marilyn Anderson at Mandy2 on Twitter. All of those things, and please don't put a hashtag in front of every word in your tweet over and over and
Nice
over
one.
again.
Nice, yep.
And that I learned from Bonnie and from Margaret and from Randall and from Sanj and all the other smart people in this room. But it's annoying. Please don't do it.
Excellent. Okay, what I'm going to do is if you're going to build a community, get to know your community. Don't just have, I have like 50,000 people or 20,000 people, but I don't know anything about them. You can still have a lot of people in your network, but take your core network, 150 I think is the maximum you can actually manage and not go crazy, and get to know them and see if they have any value, see if they can get involved with the community a little bit more. I think you have a much more interactive community if you do that. So that's what people like to see. Not just you posting, not just you commenting, not 2 or 3 people commenting all the time. Like if you have a variety of people
Interact.
comment,
Yeah.
more comments, it's fantastic, and you have a much more robust and dynamic community. So would be my big tip.
All right, Andrew at Podcast Hero on Twitter. My tip would be to give more than you take. So if you have
like
a community that you've built and you just are always trying to promote yourself or sell something, it's not going to work. You got to give more than you take, and then the community will grow.
Cool. All right, that was
Civilized.
surprisingly
That's one of the
Surprise-
shortest
Coherent.
roundtables ever.
Short and coherent.
Yeah.
So
Bring more
All right,
beer.
so
I think we
we're
should
going to
do it
talk
again.
about community for the rest of the show, I guess.
Well,
But
I
before-
don't want to dig deep. I'd like to dig deep into community, but you have something you wanted to bring up first?
Well,
got
we
that.
could play some voicemail feedback before we get into
All right,
that.
and then we can answer for the. Yep, that's a good one.
Sure.
Are we
So we
ready?
got some voicemail feedback here from. You'll never guess.
Paul the Rock God.
Okay, everybody, 3, 2, and 1.
Norm.
Okay, now I know
Hey,
that one.
Mavens, it's Norm. I was listening to a podcast and I was hearing about the new Google products that are coming out, and I was quite amazed. They're talking about Google Plus and its abilities to identify images and classify them based on their database, and to be able to actually go through all your pictures and pick the 40 best based on who's smiling and who's looking and the different views and stuff. This is incredible technology. Anyways, just thought that was an interesting bit I heard on another podcast. Have a great night, guys. Bye.
Norm's been cheating on us?
yes, it sounds like it.
He's
It is
quite
pretty
the, what do you call it?
Well, he's exploring, he's discovering. What I like about him, he's like this newbie guy that's discovering stuff, and he's like, oh my god, Google Plus is doing this. This is amazing. It is amazing. I'm pretty impressed. The algorithm is mind blowing because basically, it's taking one thing that nobody's able to do, which is go through your pictures and organize them for you. People take so many more pictures now because there's no huge bill connected with it. Like you used to take slides or print film and took $30-40 investment per roll of film. And these days it doesn't cost you anything, right? You buy a little chip and you can shoot thousands and thousands and thousands of shots, and it doesn't cost you anything. Things like Google Plus, with the ability to take the stuff you're shooting on your camera and automatically upload to your Google Plus account, what they're doing now is they just attach this algorithm. The new version goes through any picture where somebody's smiling. It gets basically, it's like a classic Google search algorithm, right? It's Google. And so the shots that have are in focus, they come up. The shots that have got a nice smile, they come up. But also it analyzes the composition based on classic compositional mathematics, which is something that does exist. And basically, hey, there's James coming in, doing his little dance in the rain. And so what they're doing is giving another great service from Google Plus and actually helping people out. And that's what's amazing. I talk to people and say, don't you have a Google Plus account, or aren't you using any of these services? And they said, no, I'm happy with Hotmail. They have no idea that Google isn't just Google. But you talk to people and say, you know what, do you have a Google Plus account, or do you have a Gmail account? So, oh, no, I have a Hotmail account. So,
Or
wow,
Yahoo.
Yeah,
Yahoo.
exactly. But they're not understanding
Uh-oh.
that Google is offering so much more than all those other places, and it's free. It's amazing what you're getting. Oh, sounds like James is coming in. Here he is. He's brought his own chair.
Oh, he
he just
Stabbed
Came in
people
like a
up.
professional wrestler and
Trash.
Pulling a
the
China
insurance maven with the chair. Yeah, and the picture quality is getting better and better on smartphones, and now there's a new
Well, I wouldn't have expected
there's a
that.
couple now Google Android cameras, which are actually cameras first, but they have a Android operating system built in, which is cool.
Might be SOL.
Yeah, it's ironic because everybody walks around with a camera in their phone, and it's 8 megapixels. Having many megapixels doesn't mean that you're going to do a great composition. So there's tons and tons of high resolution crappy shots.
Yeah, it's also the lens quality too, right?
Yeah, but still, I mean, a badly composed picture.
Yeah,
is a
well,
badly
you have to have
composed
the
picture.
skill
If you
to
don't
take the
understand
picture.
light, you don't understand
Yeah.
light. So.
Light it up. Light up the board.
Oh, looks like. Oh, sorry, we got 2. Hang on, let me just do a count here. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. Yeah, sorry, we were out of headsets because we had some equipment malfunction. But no
Don't
big
wrap
deal.
the freaking
Sure
cord
you did.
so tight.
Yeah, well, I can't get angry about it because everybody at the end of the show, they try and help and they don't know how to use the equipment and they end up breaking it. So, we got lots of broken headphones and lots of broken cables, and it's just life here at the bunker. So,
Speaking of Google Glass, just while you're
yeah.
talking about Google, do you know that in a couple of days they're going to release the first porn app for it?
Well, I would think so.
You would know it.
Randall brings up the best stuff.
He does.
Hey, that's thanks to Huffington Post.
I would be really frightened to look at Randall's browser history.
He deletes
So am I sometimes.
he deletes his cookies every 5 minutes.
I eat them.
All right.
So, back to now James is here. Somebody got to hand James a mic, and he can talk about introduce yourself. And the question, a roundtable question, was community. What's a good tip for building community?
Good tip for building community: don't let sand show up to it.
Why?
What a douche.
Well, everybody else here was at our meetup last night.
Oh, except him.
Oh, I didn't even know about it.
We built a very strong community that goes between the events, and Sanj isn't part of that yet.
Hey, he's got to come. He's got to get his passport.
I'm just kidding.
He's
Anyways.
got to come in. He gets clocked at the border of Vancouver, where you come in. Sorry, we'll have to go to line B.
Yeah.
You have to have a passport now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess my name is James Karg. I'm at twisted_magic, MAJIC.
MOUSE.
Well, I put the J in magic. That's the deal.
Yeah, I bet you do.
What was the question? Was how to build a better community?
Yeah, a tip to how to build community.
How to build community. Well, you have to like the communities that you're in or trying to build.
point.
That's a pretty big deal. Tell as many people as possible who you think are interested about it. Don't do it because you're trying to get something out of it. Do it because you want to do it.
And
I guess is the most important tip.
And now the power tip. Let's get the power tip, which is you got to have social stack to.
Yeah, let's talk about that. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, just being out there, telling people what you're doing, and really doing it for the betterment of the community is really the bonus of it.
Yeah, and I was chatting with somebody yesterday about communities at this event, and one of the big things that came up is like, look at it, you can build communities online until you're blue in the face. You still got to go out there and meet people, and that is something I think a lot of people lose in the digital world. It's like you can't just sit at home looking at your monitor and try and build communities. You got to go out, you got to shake hands, you got to have beers with people and have a good time, and they get to really know you. So
what did he say? He said traversing the digital divide, right?
Oh, that sounds good.
Traversing the digital divide.
That's a headline if I ever heard one.
Took that from me.
Copyright.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
But okay, so that's cool if you do business locally.
Yeah.
But truly, a very small percentage of people these days do business locally.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to have a North America wide business, it's not possible for you to meet people. You would spend all your time on an airplane or a Greyhound bus.
But Bonnie,
no, but you can get to know them.
Bonnie, haven't you gone to Vegas to events? Haven't you gone down to the States to do events and workshops and stuff? Well, that is what I'm talking about. You can't use the excuse of, because they're not in my neighborhood, I'm never going to visit them. Why can't you go visit them in Texas? Why can't you fly to Manila and hang out with a bunch of people in Manila? All the big people that are doing real business, that's what they're doing. They're building their communities online and stuff like that. They're setting up appointments, and then when they go and do deals, the person knows them, and they can move forward.
There's something for you, Bob.
What? So James is pointing to young women. So
I disagree. I think people are becoming more familiar and more comfortable with being online. So something like Google Plus Hangouts or Skype even.
Skype, Facebook groups.
Well, why can't Google Hangout?
Yeah,
with
but
the
I mean, how
people?
many friends have you made?
Well,
James?
Well, I was just going to bring this up. I was going to agree with you because I think Bob's sometimes full of shit.
that's okay. I'm used to it. I learned from you.
wasn't going to say that.
He's really full of shit for somebody his
both.
size, right?
But yeah, I mean, with the craft beer community, we grew it from 10 of us to 6,000 members currently, and it's definitely been. We still get together on Google Hangouts. It kind of takes away that barrier of having to go travel there, and allows you to kind of.
Yeah, no, but I think.
Yeah, but James, if you went to New York, you'd totally go visit that guy, and he'd take you out and show you some great craft beer places,
sure,
right?
yeah. And
so if you hadn't done that online, you couldn't have gone to New York and phoned the guy out of the blue and say, "Hey, I hear you're into beer. Can we go hang out?" He'll tell you to fuck off.
But I think that's the point, though, in traversing the digital divide. It's not actually necessarily meeting them in person. It's actually okay, I've got X amount of Twitter followers. I've got a bunch of people on Circles on Google Plus, but do I know anything about these people, or like, do I really know my community? And
well, Social Stack would help with that. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. I knew it.
That's a
shameless
little
plug.
kumbaya for me.
Well,
is it?
But I agree with
It is
Andrew.
indeed. I'm not going to send a tweet to every one of my 104,000 followers.
Oh, no.
Say,
Not that she's bragging.
How are you today? Are you over the flu yet?
No, that I'm not saying that. I'm saying.
But there are people
hi,
who will do that
I
for.
just yeah.
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 No, but you use tools to get to know where your people, your followers are,
One of the
and
most
who they are, the demographics and stuff like that.
Right.
So you have a general idea of who your followers are, and then you can
that's
then
good
you can
marketing.
and then the ones that that you want to, you can dive deeper, right? So I think that's what they're talking about. Not if you've got 104,000 followers, obviously you're not going to know. There's no way you could know every single one of them.
Well, generally, people who sort of pontificate about this and are just a little bit kumbaya, and they won't go over the 300 people or the actually it's 150.
150 is the number.
Dunbar's number is 150, and they use that as an excuse for being lazy and not having more than 150 Twitter followers, because then they say, well,
Don't hold back, Bonnie.
No, keep talking. The 150.
But it is. I've heard that argument that having too many followers is, some kind of evil thing. Well, guess what?
They're just
Well, you
jealous.
gotta-
It got me on 2 Forbes lists. So how bad
Also,
could it
as
be?
well, it's like there's only going to be a certain amount of your followers that are really active as well.
Yeah.
That's right, just like
And,
everything else.
Yeah, it's like, and the cream's gonna rise to the top, and you're gonna get to know those ones better. Some of the other ones that just aren't as active, you're not.
And the other thing is, it would be very nice if all of everybody's followers just were glued to only your account, 7x24. And every time you said something profound, which of course is every time, that they're going to respond to you. Guess what? They're walking up and down Robson Street without looking at their
Wearing
phones.
hooker shoes.
Wearing hookers and a
little
sweater.
red skirts.
Look at those two. If they're my followers, they don't have their phones out. Hey, guys.
That's true.
Yeah.
You
Do you
should.
follow Bonnie?
Actually, most people
She wants to
do.
follow you.
The one
Okay,
the one thing
James.
the one thing I found on Twitter from the people that seem to have very large followers, just like Bonnie, and things like that, and really active groups, is usually they'll host like a chat.
Yeah.
And then they'll interact, asking open-ended questions. There's a guy that's a speaker in the UK. He's always like, "Good morning, the weather's shit here. What's it like in yours?" And even with that, I think he gets, usually 100, 200 people to respond to him. Even Theo Pappas, I think is his name in the UK, will be like, "Should I wear these socks?" Or and he gets a lot of engagement out of that. And he doesn't know all those people necessarily, but it allows them to feel like they're
Part
giving
of
some
it.
sort of input onto helping define who he is that day.
So I like Twitter chats a lot. And I participate in Twitter chats probably a couple of times a week. And you get to know absolutely amazing people.
Okay.
So when you're doing a Twitter chat with somebody, the conversations are more in depth about what's happening to them personally at that particular time, or
No.
It's usually
So,
on a topic.
yeah, blog chat is a Sunday night at 7 o'clock. And it's about bloggers. And so whoever is the moderator that night asks 7 or 8 questions in the hour, depending on how, what kind of interaction you get. But you certainly understand these people's point of view. Sometimes you get information. Sometimes it's just getting to know somebody better. And there's some pretty big bloggers.
There's
in
some
that
great
group.
industry chats too. There's a group of mortgage brokers that do a chat, and then there's the Friday night wine chat that the bloggist does,
Oh,
which
yes.
is
Okay.
entertaining.
So,
Yeah, a lot
so
of
when you
foodie
say
chat.
so when you say a Twitter chat, am I missing something? Is it
It's like a hashtag,
Okay.
so like CM chat. So
Got it.
Jessica Dorothy
T
will
chat.
have like
Got it.
Blake Shelton or something like that, and then
Got
fans
it.
can either ask questions or she has questions she offers, like
Fair enough.
who's your favorite new artist or
Who's your daddy?
things like that. There's also
Yeah, it's a Twitter version
there's
of a
also like
hangout.
it's kind of like a Twitter version of a hangout for sure. It allows you to archive the information, and if you storyfy that, then you actually are producing good content that you can then put back to your blog, which is, not a bad deal. Like it's a much better way to get lots of influencers in the same way.
It's also it's community-generated content, which tends to be, because it's from a variety of personalities and variety of experience, it tends to be way more accurate and way more in-depth, and that any one single person could do on a mono audio podcast or mono blogging. It's like, blah, blah, this is my opinion, this is my research, blah, blah, blah. Actually, a lot of times when I'll find a link in Google Plus or Facebook or wherever, I'll go to that link. I will read the first paragraph and then I'll skip right down to the comments. And a lot of times the comments are much more entertaining, and the links that I get there take me to places I never would have discovered.
Yeah, that's great.
That's awesome. And nobody does that. I mean, what's with that?
It depends on if it's like a YouTube live stream
Well,
or
YouTube
Google
sucks
Plus,
for
because
stuff,
you'll find the differentiation in the comments very broad.
Yeah.
Right.
My question is, any community who, let's say you have
the
we got
Asians
some
left the
waivers
TV.
outside.
All right, you can't
Waving
sneak
at
it.
us.
Oh,
Those are my followers.
That's
They're
Bonnie
totally
must have
my
your followers there, man.
All
He
three of those
kissed,
guys
man.
are my followers. They're from Japan. They know all about my video games. They're like, holy crap, it's James.
And you
Holy
said you'd
smoke.
buy them beer.
No,
they
they,
let him in
usually
there?
buy me sake. So
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
Cool. So my question was going to be, if you have, say, a podcast or a web show or something like that, and you've got, say, 5,000 subscribers, and you've got just a very small percentage of those that are engaged and commenting and calling in voicemail feedback and things like that, should you gear your show or your blog or your content to that small percentage? Is that a mistake, or should you think about the whole group? And because they might not be your customers, the people that are engaging you the most may be doing it for links or for another motive.
That's a good question. I think the thing is if you try and generify, if that's not a word, but make generic comments that everybody's going to be happy with, then you're not going to communicate to anybody in a meaningful way. The only way that you're going to communicate well is if you say the things you say if you are you. Like, I say some pretty crazy things. I piss people off all the time. Every time I meet people at events, says, sorry to remember your name. I'm always drunk. And that's part of my that's part of my persona, right?
Which is true.
If I'm out, I'm having a beer, and I love.
I learned everything I know from you, apparently.
Yeah, I know. He used to, actually, it is sad but true. When James came here the first several times, he
He's
came
tweeting.
into the podcast. He ordered a Coke, and now he's out die
After
hard.
I joined, he started drinking.
He's an
Okanagan Springs
alcoholic.
Brewmeister Black Dude, right?
But I think also
it's
too,
an awesome
say,
beer though.
if you're obviously on social media to promote a business or promote something, or to target something, I think you have to stick with that. You can't please, like Bob said, you can't please everyone.
Everybody.
You have to stay true. You have to still be authentic, and be yourself. It's like, and
That's why this show is so annoying,
exactly.
because everybody's authentically annoying.
I think what Andrew is saying, though, is like, do you tailor your content directly for the small percentage that is actually active versus the ones that are just listening? And for us with the beer hangout, we definitely just focused on the beer more than
big
anything.
time.
And we did have people that were active. We'd actually invite them to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely helped us out more, because then we had more people that were spreading the word, and now we're getting beer companies that are sponsoring.
Really? I haven't
Well,
been on that. James, you
I'm
invited me
Canadian.
on. Yeah.
I'm Canadian, so I don't get any of this, which kind of makes me sad.
Yeah.
But you see, that's part of the thing, is staying true to what you were doing. You're not trying to please everybody. You're just doing what you were doing, and the ones that are just the hangers-oners and aren't really into it don't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, there's some really interesting, the classic 80-20 rule. Look at that. We've got Mr. iCamcast has joined us. Ken, can you hear us? Oh, no, he can't hear us.
Yeah.
So, obviously,
But
okay.
I mean, you have people like, I guess, like Dig and Twit. They're kind of going towards the people that are their audience. They're not really blanket statementing things. They're just kind of focusing on it. So I think you got to vary your content. If it's not working, then maybe you should change it up a bit.
Yeah, I think
We love Norm, by the way.
Yeah,
if he's
Norm's
called
great.
in.
Yeah, he did. You missed it.
Oh, and the other person that started the whole thing, I guess maybe he learned from Craig Griffiths how to do that kind of stuff. Because for a while he was our only really active listener that would call in, and he actually sent you guys liquor.
Yeah, he was our most active.
And from Australia, and we didn't really tailor the show directly to him, but we would shout out to him.
Hey,
Well,
you know
we
what?
drank more because
We definitely drank more.
Actually, on the show notes, we should we actually made a funny YouTube video and put it on YouTube about us unpackaging the box with these 2 big bottles of beer, and then I went over to Andrew's place, and his lovely wife made us a pizza, homemade pizza, very fresh, and we had the beer, and we took pictures of that. I mean, it was hilarious.
Yeah, it's a good
Like
video.
a 10-minute video on like receiving these beers, but that's
It
giving
was
back to the
it was
community.
the artistically
I think it cemented the
done by
Bunker
Bob.
Project.
Well, the whole thing is, though, the thing that really cemented is we said, oh, you know, this guy's pretty cool. And his daughter heard, and he's, wow, my dad's cool. That's awesome. And man, he loved that. But it's what it is. If your community does something like reach out or actually communicate to you, and you don't do anything about it, you don't deserve that community. It's so rare that somebody reaches out. And I think it's like out of every 1,000 people that watch your post, you may get 1 comment. And if you get that 1 comment, you got to be all over it. Say, hey, thank you for connecting. They really appreciate it. And then ask them a question, try and engage them, get them involved, because they, wow, that was great. I'm good. I feel better about commenting. I'm going to do more commenting. Maybe not in your blog, but in other people's blog. And if everybody does that, we'll have more interaction in the communities, which builds a much better experience for the people that are creating the content.
That's definitely been one of the keys to HackerNest for sure, is by having an open community where anybody's allowed to show up if they're interested in technology.
Yeah.
And it definitely provides the ability for, it seems like a very tight group of people now coming to the events, and they know each other. It seems more fun. And everybody that comes seems to get that same energy, and we're just riding that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing works with Startup Weekend. If you get a bunch of people in the same room together, all with a singular goal or mindset, you're going to get some awesome stuff out of it.
Well, yeah, that it was interesting what happened to be. Hang on, Ken, can you hear us? No, Ken still can't hear us. So we've got Ken from the popped in on the Google Hangout. We're just trying to technically figure out how to get him on board. But what I found out yesterday when I was at the event, I ran into a guy and I said, "Oh, hi, who are you?" And he said, I think it was Bill, or I can't remember his name, terrible names. But he said, "You're Bob." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Wow, I've been in so many events and I've seen you and never got around to seeing you, and I follow you online and this, that, and you do all this amazing stuff." I said, "Well, Grad, why didn't you ever reach out?" And he said, "Well, I got busy and stuff like that." And there's this real barrier for people to, just reach out and say, "Hey, you got a cool podcast." We're just regular people. We're not some highfalutin asshole guys out of New York that say, "Oh, no, we're above it all, blah, blah, blah." We're just regular people that are having fun talking about technology, and you can definitely reach out, and you'll meet some very, very cool people doing that way. I think people are way too shy. That's the problem.
That can definitely be the problem, as sometimes people are shy, but you have to go out of your way to really encourage people to, get to know each other.
Same thing happened to me. I came for social media. And now I'm an alcoholic,
Ow.
I don't think it was the...
Well, there's a
the
couple
social media
communities
guys
that you can join.
Yeah, there is a community. I believe it's called AA. You might be on the first step.
Maybe they don't have a podcast, though.
No.
There you go.
No,
If
there's
they-
a
that's
concept,
surprising
Bonnie.
they don't have
I can guarantee they don't serve beer.
They've only,
I know, eh?
they've only got 12 episodes, though.
They don't know.
No, sorry, but I was going to say the shy thing is a good point, because when I went to the event last night, the only reason that I met Bob and I met Bonnie is because I got a chair for Marilyn. And we ended up sitting down at the same table together, and then she introduced me to Bob, and she introduced me to Bonnie, and that's why I'm here tonight.
And I found out about
getting
you got
your
your
revenge.
tweets.
There you go.
But I didn't say anything to you because I was creepy.
Well, he is pretty creepy. If you've ever met James in an event, yeah, it's a creep fest right there.
Yeah.
Hey, and no, it's true. I think that one of the things that's interesting is we kind of have this fear of meeting new people. I don't know what it is, and we're all so shy. We go into an event, and you kind of hide in your corner.
You?
No, No, but I mean, I'm a pretty verbose guy, and I totally relate to this poor guy. He's in a room. He doesn't know anybody. He's terrified. He doesn't know how to communicate. And I'll go up to him and say, "Hey, what's your name, Bill? Hey, great. What do you do? Oh, you're a realtor. Great."
And that continues to scare the crap out of him.
Yeah, exactly. Who the hell is this? Oh, that
Poor
was
old
Ken,
Bill
by
just
the way.
shit his pants.
No, that was the voice of God.
Yeah, it sounded like it, eh?
We are not worthy.
Where is it?
Yeah.
It's just me up in the
But that's
corner.
nice to know that.
I can see you.
Well, he is talking to us from the cloud.
There's a blob on the
Yes.
ceiling. Is
And
that?
what- Can we go back though? Like, it was interesting that you had that experience last night. Considering
There he is.
it. Well, I mean, that's what we look for in Social Media Club. We want people to share their information, share who they know, introduce each other, and kind of make it a more welcoming space.
Well,
That's
it's all
the reason
about
we do
sharing.
it. Yeah,
Social
that's our
Media
motto.
Club?
Is if you've got it, share it.
Is what? So I'm just kind of starting out in this sort of space,
Mm.
and so I think is what it is for me. The barrier between it's what we were talking about earlier, traversing the divide
Digital
between
divide.
online and offline, and you meet sort of personalities online, and it's really difficult to connect the two. And I think actually going to events and meeting people is a big thing because it lessens the divide. You know.
Totally.
Oh, and it definitely helps because you get to meet people in the flesh, and then it's like, oh, you're so cool, blah, blah, blah. And then so let's connect. So, well, look I got a podcast. I've got a blog. Go check me out here. You've got all these other ways to communicate with people after you've run into them. So it makes a big, big difference where what was happening 30 years ago, it's like, well, call me on the phone and we can do lunch. So it's a different social environment. You got all these platforms where you can continue to communicate with a person, get to know them without actually having to spend a bunch of energy driving somewhere, going to have lunch, blah, blah, blah. I mean, you couldn't do that with 150 people because all you'd be doing is like lunches all the time. So, which, hey, it's not that bad, but hey. So these days, we've got it easy compared to what it was like doing networking many, 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 many years ago, right? We've got this electronic, internet-y, interfacing thing. We've got meetups. We've got there were 3 events happening yesterday at the same time for the same community. Basically, it was the same demographic.
Let's not talk about
3
that.
events. Crazy. But it was interesting because Bosca and I, we were walking home after that one event, and we ran into Todd Maffin, and he was just leaving his event, and we on the corner, we ended up
that
talking
guy.
for 10 minutes. Says, hey, what was going on? Blah, blah, blah. How was your event? Oh, our event was great. It's, too bad you couldn't
Sure
come
as
to our
hell
events.
wasn't a third Tuesday yesterday.
Yeah, it was weird. It was very, very weird.
I don't know. Was it the third Tuesday?
Yeah, it was
yesterday?
Thursday. Yeah.
Oh, but wait, it was a Thursday yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a Tuesday.
Yeah, it
Wait,
was.
shit.
Dude.
It wasn't wrong.
It wasn't the third one though. It was the
Man,
fourth
you
one.
Wasn't
got
the third one. Yeah,
wasted
that's right.
yesterday.
It wasn't the third. It was the
James.
fourth
Yeah.
Tuesday.
they-
It's Friday
they-
today, isn't it?
They
Yeah.
take,
Yeah, nice
they
try,
take all
guys.
of that rather casually.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
But he puts on a
that
great
sounds
event.
like some false advertising. Because if I showed somewhere and it wasn't a third Tuesday,
That's why you check meetup.com.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, well, well, you know, getting back to like the amazing tools that are out there. You got Meetup.com, you got Facebook, you got
Facebook?
it's
Facebook?
Facebook.
is that the Swedish one?
Yeah.
That's the
Facebook.
Swedish version.
Bob, are you becoming dyslexic when you talk?
Yeah, it's called
the
mouth lexic.
Mouth Alexa.
It's caused by too much Okanagan Springs Brewmeister Black. Yeah, this slur brought to
That's
you
a-
by our
He can say
sponsor.
that fine.
Yeah, he can say that very well.
But the weird thing I do find, though, with the digital thing is when you meet people and you have seen their digital persona and they're nothing like that in real life.
Well, then, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you meet me.
unauthenticity.
Oh, Bob, yeah.
I don't know if that's yeah, maybe
it's
it
not
is.
not authentic. Yeah.
Well, you
Bob, you're
like
much
the really shy
you're much
person.
taller
You're
in your
like, oh,
profile.
blonde.
Yeah, way taller.
Yeah,
Damn it, Ken, you stole my line.
Yeah. It's like you first meet Bob. You meet Bob for the first time. You say, hey, Bob. Oh.
yeah, you're that way down there. Yeah, that's why I cut my hair so short because all you would see was my bald spot. It's like, oh, you're short and you got a bald spot. Oh my god. Yeah. A big winner for the girls. So yeah, it is interesting. It happens every 3 to 4 months when I go to a physical event, and I'll run into people and I don't know what the hell they are, and they've never really met me. And then it's like, oh my god, you're the Bob Garlick? I said, yeah, and this, oh my god, I do this and that, and I've been following you. So what's interesting about it is if you're using social media prolifically, you're doing lots of great content and stuff like that. When you go to a physical event, you are going to run into all sorts of people that know everything about you, and then you don't have to spend some time. Well, exactly, but it doesn't matter. Then you can have a conversation about them.
Yeah.
Instead of you, and that is how you know.
is that how that works?
Yeah.
It's like,
I thought I was supposed to
I was
just
like,
go
if they already
me,
know
me,
all
me.
this stuff about me, they obviously want to talk about
And it gives you credibility too.
I thought I was supposed to just tell them, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit.
Exactly. Hey, you would. Yeah, I've been at networking events. I was one at Network Hub, Mina Vance. She does amazing events. You got to go to them. And I'm there, and this realtor guy came in, and he would go to group, and he handed out cards out. Hi, I'm Joe. Here's my card. And then he'd walked away, and he went to everybody. And I went and saw the dude. What are you doing? You're just making people think you're an asshole. Put
He's
away your
spamming
card.
in real life.
Yeah,
Spamming. Yeah, I like that.
Exactly. Exactly. But
well,
you
he's
know
also
what?
wasting business cards.
Well, yeah.
Exactly, because
Killing trees.
Well, and he's ruined his brand. He ruins it. Like, nobody's going to work with that guy because obviously he's a slimy
Well,
jerk.
kind of gung ho. I mean, if you were looking for a house, you'd probably be like, "Well, that guy's going to go out and actually do something."
Or,
No.
He
No.
spams. He annoys people. You do not
an
want
annoying
someone like that
jerkwad.
representing your house.
I like the chocolate realtor.
listen to all the
anyways.
opinions that are happening just from
chocolate
that
realtor?
description, right?
Yeah, she gives you chocolate when you go for realtors.
She's
or
not paid
the,
on the chocolate.
The guy that takes you for lunch.
Well, he's basically just playing the law of averages. But
He
he's
is,
not
yeah.
taking very good shots.
He's playing poker.
He might as well play the lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I took him aside and I said, look, why don't we try it a different way? Put away your cards and I'll introduce him to people. And what are you into? And I found out he really loved to hike and he loved chess. So I found two people, one person that liked to hike and one person liked playing chess. And he actually had conversations with these people. And he has a much higher chance of selling a house to those two people than to all the other people he was spamming out to. It's the same thing with social Facebook
social.
accounts and stuff like
It's
that.
real life conversion.
Yeah,
We're real life. Yeah, we're being real life social here. We're waving at
Yeah, for all the people that are
time.
listening, can't see what's going on. These guys, they've set it up so they can look out in the street and wave at people and see how many people can wave back. Oh, look at here comes a very intellectual-looking gay guy. It must be Marcel. Oh yeah, I think he got the glasses
I
because
don't think it matters his sexuality,
Yeah,
but
I
yeah.
know.
Okay,
Hey!
you know.
those glasses make you look gay, dude.
Those glasses make you look like a movie critic.
He looks like from
Well, he can
somebody
actually
from
see
Arrested
the movies
Development.
now.
I mean, now he's got his Arrested Development glasses on because he just so loves that show. All right. So just pull up a chair, borrow somebody's mic. We're out of headphones, but you can just slum it.
Oh, we got
It'll
no
work.
spot for them. Plug in.
We're talking about being at meetups, though, right?
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah, we're
it's-
talking about community
Well,
in
being
general
social
and
communities, how to act in those communities, how social media enables you to do more. You know,
Don't
those type
spam
of
in
things.
real life. I like
Exactly.
that
Yeah.
one.
Don't
It
spam
was
in real life.
at
Don't
the
be a douche in
you know
real
we
life,
were yesterday in the at the social media club meetup. We were upstairs while there was a panel downstairs, and the
Oh, yeah.
theme that we got from pretty much everybody was building community, and it was interesting.
Well, it was very interesting because we had like the panel going downstairs, and then we had the podcast upstairs. And apparently, we got so excited talking about community and the answers and stuff like that that we were overshadowing and being so noisy that people were getting
That was
disturbed
until
downstairs.
I got on stage. That was totally until I got on
Oh,
stage.
actually, James did an awesome job.
Yeah.
He was
Game
actually
was very good.
He made it a
James
bunker
was
show.
the master moderator.
He was like Mr. Casual with
Absolutely.
his
Say that
beer.
fast.
It's like, I just like to ask you guys some questions. Slurp.
There was only 2 moderators, so there's, I don't know. You're comparing. Just
Stephanie did a great job too.
We love them both, but also too. I know. I
We're
speak
biased.
for both Bonnie and
Yeah.
I. We're used to interacting with James, so for us it was
more comfortable.
more
It
comfortable.
was like,
Yeah.
yeah, because we're used to talking.
They
Same,
made
same with
James-
Mina too. Like I
They made
got
James
some
look good.
stuff out of Mina because I'm loud and obnoxious around her normally.
Yeah.
They made
So-
James the moderator of
Yeah.
all the people.
I know.
They were desperate. They were desperate.
Sanj, he did an awesome job.
He did. He did.
No,
Yeah, he
did
was
really
like
you would have done a better job, Sanj.
he was like, "What
I'm
the
not-
fuck are
You
you
know-
talking about?"
I don't know. It'd be pretty
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
to beat that.
I think you're full of shit.
James,
And
what,
this is why
what
Randall
happened when you
wasn't on
wandered
stage.
off halfway
Yeah.
through?
Yeah, I finally saw the tweet he was talking about too. He called me a gamer yesterday.
I said gaming with Dave.
gaming with James.
Gay
It's like,
gaming.
but that's Mars.
Oh yeah,
somebody
don't be
else.
touching the Marcel's territory, man. You get big
Yeah.
trouble.
That was not cool, but yeah, I guess you guys did get like a little overzealous, and Pete had to come up and
Guys.
with his ADD, he can't control himself.
Bore everybody to death.
Guys, you're
You're
being
distracting me. I can understand because I got ADD too. That probably would have really screwed us.
Well, we tried. I mean, as soon as he did, we all said, "Oh yeah."
It's kind of a joke
talk
too,
in
but he is the
whispers now. It'll
ADD
make a
David,
difference.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that'll make a
So in
difference.
case anybody's listening, is like, what are you doing hating on ADD? It's no, that he coaches people how to deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's legit.
I won't give away his new tagline, but it's awesome.
Someone actually did complain
Ooh,
after
light bulb?
that the podcast was too loud.
See, I didn't even really hear it. I heard you
Yeah.
guys in the background, but like not like loud or
Yeah.
anything.
Well, we could hear you guys in the background, but
Bonnie
it
got
didn't
some
ma- Didn't
love.
matter.
But sweetheart, it was our night.
Oh.
And if you watch,
Don't invite the bunker
and
show.
If you watch the video too, actually one of my favorite parts is Bosco's upstairs.
Yeah.
And I've said to Bosco, "Hey, you didn't win the commenting thing, but at least you're here." And you can see him giving him the finger from the
Yeah,
top.
I know. He leaned back.
I could never see. I didn't see that until today.
Yeah, I know.
And I was like, "That's pretty awesome."
Yeah, we're pretty.
How do I
pretty
get to the
liberal.
video?
YouTube.
Okay.
It was tweeted out. If you do a hashtag search for social, thank you.
SMC meetup.
Got it.
So hashtag SMC meetup.
Got it.
You'll be able to find it. That went out quite early in the evening, so like 6:30ish or something like that. If you want to do a time track, but yeah, it'll be one of the original first posts. I thought it was awesome. I mean, it's the first time we've tried something like that, so technically, I was really excited that we actually tried something
It was
in
all
a
about
building.
us on the panel. Not
Oh,
you.
sure it was, Bonnie. Sure. Hey, we put you on YouTube. What are you bitching about?
We put ourselves on.
Oh my God, we're on YouTube on stage. Damn it.
Anyways, let's go back to the whole community thing. You guys were really jazzed about it, right?
Well, I'd like to
Yeah.
know what your experience was in terms of your community last night.
At the event?
Podcasting at that event, like taking the show on the road. What did it feel like? What was different? What worked? What didn't work? What would you like to see more of?
Well, I mean, Bosco came by, James came by. I mean, we had like regulars pop in. We invited anybody downstairs to come check us out. We had several people come up and look and then disappear. And I think the problem is like it's pretty when we do one of our setups for us, it's like no big deal, but it's mics and crap and wires all over the place, and I think it intimidates the hell out of people.
Yeah.
James is doing a little dance for our YouTube audience. It's awesome. Take off the shirt, man. Take off the shirt. Oh no, don't! My God! Oh my God! Don't take off the shirt.
This isn't Dishes with James, which Marilyn talked about on the podcast. But
Oh, I think you should bring that show back.
I think maybe the next
I could
time
do
it
some
might
dishes.
be good to have like little write up for people so they know what their what the topics are and things like that. Maybe.
You mean like show notes?
Yeah.
Show notes are for losers.
I think it actually was really good. Like I listened to your show this morning, and I was like, that was one of the better ones.
It was an awesome show. I was pretty impressed. It was like solid.
And it wasn't just
very
because
good
you let me
speakers.
talk either.
No. Bosco was there. He was on fire. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good conversation.
Like even
with
Wayne
Bosco.
getting on there was very
And
good.
Tech Lynn's came on.
Lynn's?
Oh yeah, and
She
she had a
came-
great time. As soon as we started swearing, she was like,
She was like,
"What?"
"Oh, I don't get to do this on global TV," and she started like, "F this, F that, F this, F that."
Yeah, it was
Hilarious.
actually really, really solid. I don't think there was much you could do to improve your stuff. Until
Well, I don't know. I think I could have done a better job with the focus. I was pissed off with this camera not being able to handle light.
Oh yeah. That was.
It was like a little oversaturated, but it's a cheap camera. What the hell?
I think Bosco mentioned something about that too.
Yeah, well, Bosco is not the lightest guy in the world, and he basically is like, all you see is his teeth when he grinned. It's hilarious.
It looks like
So,
the bear. The
next
bear.
time I'm gonna have a blue light up there because it'll really accentuate that.
It looks like the bear in the cave, right? You see eyes.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
it.
And then the teeth.
Yeah.
And once you see the teeth, you better run.
All
Yeah,
right.
but that
So,
was pretty good. Yeah.
No, it was very good. Yeah.
What?
do you want to do a gaming with James?
Oh yeah, you want to do David
Sure.
with James, or do you want to do one on the show too?
We can do both if you want.
All right, here we
Okay.
go. 3, 2,
And 5.
Yes.
I can't even hear.
It's gaming, with James. That's fake echo.
That brought to you by Okanagan Springs.
Why did you
Brewmeister
give him your
Black.
headphones? Don't let Marcel touch the mic. I'm just kidding.
Now we got So
Never let Marcel
James.
touch your mic.
Yeah, exactly. It'll never be the same.
Oh, what can we talk about
Xbox
today?
One. Xbox.
Oh, we're gonna do that right
Oh,
off the bat.
please!
Okay.
Such a lame platform.
What?
I got him going. Button
Oh, you're
pressing.
so
Button pressing.
full of shit.
I hear there's a new Kinect.
Yes, there is. It's in a box. It will
Yeah.
come directly with
It's
it.
got
no
cables.
longer
You
needing
connect
it.
it. It's the big
Does
deal.
it work?
Well, the thing is like they showcase some of the stuff that's going on. Not everything though. So more about it is going to be announced in another 2 weeks. So
Okay, what I'm very
the one
interested.
thing that was
yeah, go ahead.
interested though was the way they're positioning themselves.
as like the living room console, the platform.
Yeah. So I mean,
As the home, the entertainment home system, right?
Yeah,
Didn't they
it-
try that like 10 years ago?
no. It's sort of.
I think
Yeah.
here in Canada, like they've been doing a trial with TELUS by using their Optic TV service,
Right.
and now they're going to roll it across the board.
Yeah.
So it was very interesting to see that. A lot of people are like, "Oh, they forgot about the games. They don't care about the gamer anymore." Well, no, they didn't forget about the gamer. They're going to show you in 2 weeks. This was to get people just excited about the concept.
Yeah.
It wasn't a shot towards Sony, and it wasn't a shot towards Nintendo. It was a shot towards Apple, and it was a shot towards Google.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And
They're diversifying themselves by not competing in the game console business, but competing against the content delivery business.
The content delivery business is going to be their bread and butter in the long run. By going with the cloud, that's smart.
Yeah.
They did receive a huge backlash about rumors. Like it was kind of interesting to see on social media how flamey people got without even having the proper like understanding of what was going on. They're like,
Really?
"Oh,
That's
used games."
surprising?
Well, like I thought it was bad for some certain recent events and things like that where people would just go crazy and put out as much information that was totally falsified or whatever. But it was like these people were just feeding it to the lions, and they're just like eating it and eating it and eating it.
It was definitely a media
And
frenzy.
and they were like, "Oh, well, used games are going to cost this, and it's always online." And like nobody sits down and goes, "Hey, my cell phone's connected to a satellite. I fucking hate that."
Yeah.
Like I guess they're like,
Well, unless the satellite dish is actually connected to the cell phone.
that's true. But like for an always online console, I can kind of understand that. I don't think it'll be completely. It would be a bad move if it was completely unplayable. Like to not play at least a little bit offline, because there's only I guess 35% of the people in the United States with broadband
That can handle that.
that can
yeah.
handle
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
that would be kind of bad. And I don't think they're that dumb. But they were making a future-proof console is basically what it is.
Yeah.
This last one was only supposed to last 5 years. This one, and it ended up lasting 10 years.
Yep.
So seriously outdated tech. And, people are like, "Oh, well, they're not giving me what I want." And it's like Steve Jobs used to always say, you don't, ask your consumer what you want. You give them that, and they accept it.
Exactly.
Because they don't know what the fuck
Because
they
they
want.
don't know what they want.
Well, they
Like
may,
they might
may-
right now. They might be like, "Look, I wanted to have indie games and stuff like that." As soon as that's over, like there's
Yeah,
always going to be independent studios.
But that only works that giving them what they don't know they want only works if it's something like new and innovative.
Spectacular.
This is new and spectacular. I was like really contemplating, like, you guys know who Louis C.K. is, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Louis,
He
good
did
buddy of
that.
mine.
He did that thing on Conan O'Brien where it was like everything is amazing and nobody's happy.
Yeah. Exactly.
like,
exactly.
yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm on an airplane, and the one guy's bitching about there's no Wi-Fi." He's like, "We're flying on a chair through the air. How could you not be happy?"
Because I don't have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, because I don't have Wi-Fi. But
Yeah, well, we're a bunch of spoiled bitches. Let's face it.
it is kind of the thing. Like, same thing happened with PS4. Same thing's happening with Nintendo. I mean,
It's not being updated every 6 months, and people are like, "What the fuck?"
well, it's
that-
not about being updated. It's about I don't know what they expect really. Like,
they want to be wowed.
Yeah.
but you do get experiences that are wild. Like BioShock Infinite is amazing.
You know what?
Thing.
You can get wowed by old stuff. I just downloaded, started playing for Mac, of course, so it's a little dated. The Star Wars Empire Academy or something like that. It's a fantastic game. I mean, it saves incredibly fast. The graphics aren't mind-blowing, but who cares? I mean, it's great gameplay. There's great interaction. There's great puzzles. There's tons of stuff going on in this game, and it's just going on forever. I mean, it's like I do the next level. I say, oh, you got another assignment. Holy crap. I mean, I'm exhausted. So I think a lot of the problem is like you've got a gamer community. Part of the gamer community is they're doing the stuff that's coming out. As soon as it comes out, they play the hell out of it in 4 to 10 days, and then it's done. It's like, when's my next piece of cake? and then
They're
you've got
kind of like heroin junkies.
exactly. But then you've got that's 20%
That's
of
the
the
way to
No,
kind
no,
of do
I
it.
think
It's
you're
like,
right there.
But that's 20% of the market. Then you got 80%
drug
of the
dealer
market.
model.
That's
Yeah.
Well,
us.
it's not necessarily the
Well, really, you got 20% that want change every 5 seconds. You got 60% that,
Can't
will
afford
wait
it.
or can't afford it, or
Well,
and
no.
then you got 20% that don't give a fuck.
Well, exactly. I think you've got the middle road, which is the 60%, and that's where the sweet spot is. That's where you're going to make your money. Bring out a console. It's like, oh, by the way, if you're not into gaming, it's okay. You can do Netflix. Oh, well, maybe we should get it because the kids like to play games. That'll keep them happy. We have a budget of $400. Let's spend the money, get this device because we can use it and the kids can use it. Problem solved.
It is going to be like that, and I mean, we don't know enough about it really. Like it was just a small press conference. Same thing with the PS4.
But it is the direction for the future. They have to go that way.
It
or
is
die.
what they put out, and you know. The most interesting things I found was the NFL has signed a license with Xbox.
Whoa.
So
That's
that's
huge.
pretty huge.
Yeah.
That's a big shot at like Comcast or anything like that.
So how are they going to get all those big guys in that team?
Yeah, I know, right?
Aren't they very small
I
boxes?
think
Somebody's
they've
like,
got
yeah.
this
How do they
this
fit 'em
new
in?
thing. It shrinks them down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that. I saw that movie in 1962. Yeah, the submarine.
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, you mean?
I do think that gamers are experiencing a little bit of burnout, though. That's the other thing I'm kind of finding.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't know exactly what's going on, but there's definitely something happening.
I think what gamers want is
The Oculus
total,
Rift.
They want.
Well,
the-
that's
they
what
want,
that's what they say they want. They're like, oh, Oculus
don't.
Rift. And it's
I'm
like,
holding out for virtual reality.
yeah.
They want
What's the
what they get in
Oculus Rift?
Star Trek.
I just-
So
I
the
don't know.
Oculus Rift is a stereoscopic 3D device.
Big
that,
thing you slap in your
that,
face.
that actually does true
Totally
3D.
destroys your
So if you
And-
remember, like 10 years ago, there was like a fair
3D
or something like that.
goggles.
3D goggles. and
Like,
you'd be in
like
a little
when
room.
Nintendo did the amazing Virtual Boy.
Oh, this is better than Virtual Boy.
Oh,
I know
so
that was a
it's-
joke.
So it's 1-to-1. It was actually funded through Kickstarter,
which is nice.
which was nice to
Very,
get their
very
production
cool.
budget.
Yep.
And then Valve jumped on board. So now, and then developers have recently got their kits. I haven't played with it yet.
I hear it's mind blowing. The problem is the target demographic. If kids watch it and play
It
games
actually
with it,
hurts
it
their eyes.
destroys their
Yeah.
eyes because they'll end up wearing glasses.
Because they're not developed.
Guaranteed.
They're not developed enough yet.
Yeah, well, it messes up the muscles
what about
of the eye. and
CRT TVs? Didn't that happen to us too? Like,
yeah, exactly.
but yeah, it'll mess up their eyes. And
You know, there's nothing wrong with glomming onto a technology that destroys your eyes.
Yeah,
I
it's
watched
got to be good if it
television
destroys part of me.
Forever since I was a kid, and my uncle was always like, "Okay, here's the line on the carpet. You sit behind it, or your eyes will be destroyed." And I didn't.
And look
as
at you
guys
now.
can
He wears
see,
glasses.
I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah.
y'all.
Now, weren't you straight before you did that?
Possibly.
Yeah,
I was
he's-
certainly. I was certainly not sterile.
Yeah, if you go if you go in front of the TV, you'll be gay and sterile. So your choice, kids. Oh, I don't care. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I had swimmers back then.
that's totally not anything.
Look,
to do
I'm
with
doing my part with the population boom.
It wasn't so much
What does
standing.
anybody need to see shit? What
That
what is
was
there to see?
that was a digression though. You should
It
check.
wasn't so much the close to the TV. It was all the porn that he was watching.
Well, it was Days in Our Lives.
I was a kid, Randall.
Yeah, it was like the
What was-
Flintstones. I mean, God, the immortal. I
What
mean,
was that-
remember when
what was
she
that-
had an affair? It was amazing.
What was that name of that lady that like got denied for a daytime Emmy for like ever?
Susan Lucci.
Susan Lucci.
Lucci.
I think that helped Marcel because he was a huge Susan Lucci fan, right?
Really?
I was right in the middle, but you know,
You liked One Life to Live.
I leaned
Yeah.
towards
Yeah.
supporting
General
her. So yeah,
Hospital.
although I was a Days of Our Lives kid.
See, there we go.
Marlena is the best when she got possessed by the devil. Just throwing that out there.
That
Oh,
was
that-
that was some riveting TV. I
That was
remember
ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Ridiculous.
Didn't they make that into a game?
No, well, yeah,
That would have made it awesome.
there's-
Days of Our Lives, the shooter. Yeah.
Actually, I'm surprised that nobody ever took that license. Actually,
Yeah.
you're probably
Bob,
correct.
patent
could
that.
be worse.
Patent it now.
No, there's, but that's
I
the
want
thing.
half
You
the
can't
royalties.
patent game mechanics. You can't.
No.
Yeah, but you can.
You can't patent shooting characters from Days of Our Lives in the face.
Well, who would want to do that? That's,
No, but
that
you
wasn't
could-
the way I
no,
was
I was
going
a-
with that game.
No, I was doing games.
Obviously,
I would do Games
That's
of Our
horrible.
Lives, zombies.
Oh yeah.
You guys
Yeah.
are terrible. That you have, no wonder you guys don't work in the
Get all the
games
people
industry.
that died in Games of Their Lives. They come back as zombies. It'd be awesome. You know
Okay,
how many
that
people
I
died?
could see that. Okay,
You know,
that-
Dr.
that's
Kildare.
less
Nobody ever
With
dies
zombies.
in a soap opera.
Well,
Oh, no,
back
they
to
do.
gaming with James.
Anyways,
Yeah.
back there. Anyways,
So to round it
um,
off, and we'll shut her
They
down.
do. They come back.
Finally.
But I was surprised though that of all the consoles that have come out so far, there hasn't been that much mobile crossover.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think that we just don't have the technology can handle it, or just the public
So wait,
can't handle it?
why don't you define
s-
mobile crossover?
So
first?
smart glass and the
Yeah, I was
system
gonna-
stuff.
I was
The
gonna- I
Vita.
was gonna say that, yeah.
And the Vita, yeah, I guess you could consider that a mobile, but it's not like being able to play your saved game on your phone.
No.
And I mean, I really wouldn't want to do that, but there's ways to incorporate those features.
I guess it depends on the game, right? Because
Yeah.
some of them would be impossible to play.
Or
I
sharing
think
the game.
I think that will happen. It was interesting to see how also like PS was going after the share
Yeah.
side of oh, I did this in Twitter, and Xbox got the same thing. It's going to record your video and share it to your friends.
Well,
and
what
things
about
that.
what about like downloading an app
Somebody
and
just moaned us.
suddenly your phone is
What?
a gaming console,
I missed it.
right? You could have
I
six
heard-
people turn up, and they bring they have your iPhones and your Androids, and they all download the app, and then they use their phones as the interface for your home game. That'd be awesome.
Get out of my head and quit reading my documents. But yeah, I mean, I kind of think that's something that is possible.
Well,
that
they've kind of did that
works.
with the iPad, where you had the solid what's the
Yeah,
solid
Scrabble.
whatever. Yeah,
Scrabble did
Scrabble,
that.
and everybody had their own thing, and you could play.
Yeah, you
it.
could
So
have an
awesome.
iPad. Everybody had their iPhone, and you could play your Scrabble tiles off your
Very cool.
iPhone.
So
yeah.
why couldn't you do that with all games, right? I mean, it's a bit of coding. I'm sure the guys are just pairing their head. Are you kidding
just
me?
a little bit of
Are
coding.
you fucking
Little bit,
kidding me,
yeah.
Bob? Give me
Well,
a break.
you're talking like. I mean,
Just whip it off, guys.
you're talking like $500,000 budgets,
Yeah, so they can afford
stuff
it.
like that. So it is a little expensive.
Yeah, I know. But
Actually, sorry, 500,000. No, I mean like 500 million.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
So are there games being developed for like the new tabletop PCs, like those giant Microsoft?
Yeah, they've been doing that kind of stuff for a while.
Yeah, they've got this swimming
Yeah.
game where you actually lie on the monitor and swim. It's awesome.
On their promotional video for the
Sheldon's favorite
Lenovo,
game.
I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a tabletop PC.
Yeah.
They've got some casino games and things like that on there.
Oh, those will definitely be for real. Yeah.
yeah.
And gambling.
Well, actually, that's
Gotta
one of the
love gambling.
largest expansions is gambling.
Of course.
So, like, if Zynga ever got the okay, they would actually be one of the highest grossing companies in the world.
Well, yeah, they would. They would instantly be propelled to.
Just
I mean, that's
huge.
if that ever happens.
That'll be like their last ditch.
Yeah.
Because right now they lost like 1.2 million people.
I
since
think
the
their last
Facebook
ditch if
update.
they went porn.
Yeah.
Since the last Facebook update, they have lost 1.2 million users.
Really?
Yeah.
So
Facebook has?
No, Zynga.
Zynga.
Oh,
with
Zynga,
their
yeah.
games, and they've also been shutting off games left, right, and center,
It's because you're
Which
probably
is-
bleeding.
pissing off their community.
Yeah, it'll back all the way back. Thank you. We're bringing it all the way back to community.
Yeah.
Don't piss off your community.
And on that note,
And that, oh yeah, I'm done.
I have a
We're
gaming with
toast.
James question. real quick.
gaming.
Yeah, go.
James,
Oh, we're going to save it for next week.
Yeah, save it.
Sorry.
Okay, I will fight. Anger. Disappointed. In the immortal words of Kevin Sorbo.
Oh.
Hercules?
Was that the Hercules
Yeah,
character?
there's a bit
or-
where he's like, "This isn't my realm."
Hercules,
Disappointed.
Hercules. Oh, sorry, that was.
Or is that Andromeda?
That's the other one.
No, Hercules.
Hey, for all you people out there listening to the
What?
show, I hope you've been drinking Okanagan Springs Brewmeister Black, because that's the only beer you should be drinking when you listen to this show, because
Yeah.
that's what we're drinking.
Hey, I got a new contest.
All right, here it is.
So if anybody's listening to this and
Yep.
they're drinking beer,
Yep.
tweet us.
Nobody
Yeah.
listens to this.
At-
Tweet us
at hashtag-
Bunker Live.
Yeah. No,
right?
no, it's Bunker
Hash-
Project.
Hashtag
Hashtag
Bunker,
Bunker
Project.
Project.
Yeah, yeah.
And tweet at Bob Garlic or at Podcast Hero.
Yeah.
Picture of you drinking a beer, and we'll shout you out next time.
Absolutely.
On
You
the
know
show.
what? I just found out.
That
I
makes
found out
sense,
from our
too.
lovely barmaid, Ashley, that we got a big box of swag coming in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to be
Ooh.
throwing it around and being super duper generous. So, yeah, send us some pics. See what happens. Maybe
Snapchat.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
Bob Garlic. Send it directly to Bob Garlic.
Snapchat.
All right.
Yeah.
No. We don't want it to be deleted.
I've
please.
Snapchatted Bob Garlic several times. It doesn't work.
No, there's no snap and there's not
doesn't
much
work.
chat.
All right. So if you want to join the
high
conversation,
minimum.
join us on Google Plus Hangouts. Contact Bob Garlic on Twitter. He's the host of the Hangouts. And call 1-877-636-1474.
Oh, yeah. Don't be a stranger. Be a community member.
And
Good
that's it.
night. Excellent.